but you don't understand the blood, the sweat, the pain of these fighters stands. Clint Macklin gonna break it down, give you the scoop. Hold on tight, this ain't no ordinary loot. UFC's the battleground where warriors collide. DIEHARD MMA podcast, we won't hide. Clint's gonna get beat, analyze each brawl from the underdogs to the champion standing tall. The fury, let your instincts rise. Feel the adrenaline rush, it's time to defy. DIEHARD MMA, we're in it for the thrill. Get ready for the madness. Let's make that bankroll spill. Let's make that bankroll spill.
What's going on, diehards and degenerate gamblers? Welcome back to the Undefeated post-weigh-in show, UFC 314 edition. How's everybody doing out there today? What we do on this show is we take one final look at the card. I give you every single little bit of information I possibly can. We broke all these fights down on the Monday show with a star-studded guest where you guys get real gambling knowledge from somebody who's good at it as opposed to me. And then I do additional research. I chat with the boys. We watch the face-offs. We watch the weigh-ins. I make sure everybody's good to go. I'll let you know who's in shape, who missed weight, who won the mental edge, and we just sprinkle all that right on top. And then we serve ourselves. It's like a grill. You get out on the grill. You know, you got to season the steak. You got to cook the steak. You put a little butter on top of it, and then you let it rest on the counter. Right now, that's this show. We're letting it rest on the counter, and then tomorrow we just get to dig into that beautiful medium rare and just enjoy. I am hungry every time I do this damn show. How's everybody doing in the chat? We got TH hanging out here. We've got Blessed. What's going on, Louis Mac Jr.? Steph Kerr. That's a name I haven't seen for a while. What's going on, Steph? Thank you very much for making the show. Dixon Sider in the house. Bazzy. We've got Alex Duarte, long-time listener, first time in the chat. You love to hear it. Appreciate you being here. Always love people coming in here for the live shows. Orlando, what's going up? Stu Lowry. Thank you guys all for being here very much. Really, really appreciate it. I am looking forward to this show, and I need to fix my camera settings. Apparently, I'm like blown out. I don't know what's going on with that, but whatever. We'll worry about that for next week's Monday show. We ain't got time. How's it going, Paul? Appreciate you being here for the show as well. All right, everybody. What we're going to do, we're going to go ahead. What's up, D? Everyone rolling in. Like, I'm trying to move on to the info, and you guys just keep popping up. I love you guys. You guys are the best. First fight of the night. We've got Nora Cornell, and she is taking on Haley Cowan. But least I forget, you guys, I owe you a little something here. What am I even doing? I'm so excited to get into the show that I'm not even bringing up the goods. Here we go. There is Miss Haley Cowan for you guys, and now you get to see the photos here. We can get a good look at what these fighters look like, so I don't have to just describe it to you. You guys can all actually have a good thing going here. You can see what I'm talking about. House of Pain, Michael, what's going on? We've got Stefan DeSanto in the house. It is official. Verna Jandiroba is a fan of the Undefeated post-weigh-in show, and she's on the record saying she hates Dixon Sider. Man, I got to find that interview, but thank you. Thank you for the heads up. Dad Bod, how we doing? What's going on, everybody? All right, so first fight of the evening is like I mentioned, Nora Cornell taking on Haley Cowan, who you see before you. Haley Cowan been away for a long time. I am not overly impressed with her skill set, just generally speaking. I feel like the UFC is trying to make something out of nothing here. She looked in decent shape, big smile on her face, looks like she's good and ready to go. It is what it is. Her opponent, however, we had some chaos to start our day here. Nora Cornell missed weight. She tried twice. She used the box of shame. As you guys can see here, her face is sucked out a decent bit there. Wasn't the easiest weight cut of her life. She did make a second attempt, and on that second attempt, she missed again. She actually cut her hair off, and then she tried again, and she still was only 137.5 pounds. So rough weight cut for her. She did not make it. It was not a good situation. When these two ladies face off on the stage for a ceremonial weigh-ins here, Haley is just a little bit bigger. There was a bit of a respectful hug going on between the two of them. And like I said, kind of at the top, you guys, I just do not believe in Haley Cowan. Like, I want to be on the opposite side of Haley Cowan every single fight that she's in the UFC. I am speculating and pretty sure that long term I am going to come out on the right side cash wise if I just bet against this chick every opportunity that I possibly get, because she's not good. She's just not good. Right before she made it to Dana White's Contender Series into the UFC, she got armbarred by a literal soccer mom, a chick that was like 42 years old, 2-2, never fought again. Like, she's not good. She makes these huge massive mistakes on the ground. She's strong, she's okay at wrestling, but that's like all she's got. She's not a fighter. She doesn't like getting hit. She's not going to trade in the pocket with you. So if Haley Cowan wins this fight, it's going to be a slog of a fight. It's going to be a grind. She's going to hang on to Nora. She's going to try to gas Nora out, and it's going to be a decision because she doesn't really have any upside as far as finishing ability or anything like that. Nora, I trust her to go out there and be offensive. I trust her knees. I like the way she attacks the body. She's got a couple subs on her record, so I wouldn't be shocked if Haley failed on like a takedown or got reversed or swept or something like that and then gave up a sub. I am on the money line. I did do a 2-leg parlay here. And I just think Nora Cornell is going to win this fight. That's all it comes down to. So this one might be greasier than it should be. I hate laying chalk on women's MMA, but like I said, I've taken a very, very firm stance that I do not like Haley Cowan, and I don't think she's UFC caliber. Nora Cornell is kind of the bottom of the barrel here, so I'm not like in love with this play, you guys, but I think she wins. That's kind of how we're attacking this one. What's going on? Troy jumping in the chat here. DDH3, how we doing? We have got Andrew Nance. What's going on? Andrew always hits me with the, I don't know why we're dabbing still in 2025, but whatever. I'll do it for you, buddy. I'll do it for you. Derek, what is going on everybody's soul? We max bet Dumas. I don't know, man. I'm the Dumas guy, and I don't know. There's Mushroom. There he is. Miss seeing your face, or I guess profile picture around here for a bit there. Mushroom, glad to have you. Kevin in the house, what's going on? We got people rolling in here now. 150 of you live already. Everybody do me a favor, share the show, hit the like button, get subscribed if you haven't to the podcast. Next fight up, Trayshawn Gore takes on Marco Tulio. Both guys came in at 186 pounds on the dot. I am loving the energy from Tulio here. Look, he's intense. He's growling at the camera. He's mean. This guy's ready to go. He's in shape, too. Got abs popping out there. And very, very good. Very good. I like it. For some reason, we are not getting the picture here for Mr. Trayshawn Gore. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what happened there. At the end of the day, though, Trayshawn Gore, a little bit shorter, a little bit thicker, big flex on his arms. He looks good. The guy is a little fire hydrant. So there is a height difference here. Tulio is the slightly larger of the two men. And this is a spot kind of like the last fight where I just am not in on Trayshawn Gore. He's low on experience. You know, his opponent in this case, even though Silva is new to the UFC, he is got more experience on the regional scene. I like his skill set overall better. I'm still not exactly sure what Trayshawn Gore is good at. He's tough. He hits hard. He's got that nasty guillotine. He's very opportunistic with that. But really, that's about it. So over the course of a 15-minute fight, I can't really trust the guy. Now, he's plus 310, right? I don't want to lay minus 400 on Marco Tulio. You guys know now these debuting fighters, like especially the undefeated ones, geez, they have been having a real tough time in 2025. So I'm not doing anything with Tulio here in this spot. I do think he wins the fight. That's kind of all I got for you. I wouldn't be surprised if he knocked out Trayshawn Gore. I wouldn't be shocked if Trayshawn Gore was tough enough and durable enough to hang in there and worked his way to a decision or something like that. Instead, won some moments, kind of exposed some flaws for Marco Tulio, stuff he's got to work on, that kind of thing. That's really been kind of how Trayshawn Gore has been so far in the UFC. And also, it wouldn't surprise me if we're all just way too high on Marco Tulio. And if Trayshawn Gore does like nuke him with a big shot or hurt him and then catch his neck like he's done the last two opponents, it's entirely possible that that Tulio's just not the guy that we were expecting. I don't think that's going to happen. Let me be clear. I think Marco Tulio is going to win this fight. But at this price, I am uncertain. And when it comes to this stuff, especially if you're putting money on it, you want to make sure you're passionate about your take. You want to make sure you've got an angle. And personally, I don't. That's just, that's me. That's where we're at for this one. The next fight on the docket, we've got Sumajiri taking on Mitch Raposo. Mitch Raposo, our boy from Spectation Sports, looking good, solid flex. He's got some muscles, a little on the short side, but he's in very, very good shape. Sumajiri, this guy is skinny. Like, he's tall, he's lithe, he's skinny. He's not even the most shredded guy, like with this kind of a body type, but you can see the sucked out nature of his face. It is very difficult for a man with that kind of a frame and that amount of weight to go ahead and make this weight class. So it's never an easy cut for him. He looked okay. Big smile, moved well enough. No real problems there for Sumajiri. When they faced off, though, there was a significant height difference between the two. Like, Mitch Raposo is very, very small when compared to Sumajiri. Both guys weighed 126 pounds. I do like Mitch's attitude. I like that Mitch, I think he stayed at Extreme Couture in Vegas right before he got ready to go for this fight. So the last week or two of his camp he did out there, and he's training with guys like Patchy Mix, which, for me, I love Patchy Mix. I think he's probably the best bantamweight on planet Earth right now. And if you're drilling with Patchy Mix and you're going up against a guy who all of his inside the distance losses are by sub, that makes me want to just sprinkle a taste on Mitch Raposo by submission. It's plus 750. Like, it's not as good of a number as I would like it to be. This fight, to me, all comes down to who improved the most, right? Because we know Sumajiri is a phenomenal striker, and he's got the right height, and he's got the right footwork and the right movement. He likes to attack the leg kicks. He's very good at all of that. And it's been the grappling that's really been the Achilles heel for this guy. Has he patched up his grappling game enough to take on a challenge like Mitch Raposo? Well, Mitch Raposo is a guy who's 0-1 in the UFC, and he's really working his way into being a UFC fighter at this point. He's very young. I think he's got the upside to be a guy who belongs in the UFC, but is he that guy right now? Since his last fight, I mean, he got thrown to Andre Lima, a guy who I've been very impressed with, a guy who I think is going to have a long run in the UFC, and he fought very well with Lima in that fight. So I think people are doubting Mitch Raposo just a little bit, and probably a little bit too much. So for me, it's a dog or pass situation. I'm never laying this kind of number on Sumajiri. I understand how, in hindsight, Sumajiri could look like an 8-1 favorite in this spot. He could just completely dice Mitch Raposo on the feet, piece him up, keep the range, keep the distance, hurt him a bunch of times, and then call it a day. He could be a runaway finish type of favorite, or even a 29, 28, 30, 27 decision type of win. But there's been a massive line movement here, you guys. We've got Mitch Raposo down to plus 125. You can get minus 150 now on Sumajiri. What a wild streak. My goodness, I just looked at that number. He's been minus 200 basically all week. That's insane. So some serious buco bucks has come in here on Mitch Raposo just in the very, very recent amount of time here. That is crazy to me. If you guys want to know anything about like the market moves and what's going on with these guys, I did do the Sharp Action Report with my guy Andrew from Superbook Sports. He let us know what's going on from the other side of the desk. So if you guys want some betting information as far as like the public and Sharp Action stuff like that, when this show's over, go give that one a watch. I'm not going to recap all of that information here, but he lets you know where some of that is coming from. And this is not one that we talked about. So I'm a little bit surprised to see this big of a move here on Mitch Raposo. I thought it was dog or pass, but I like Mitch at a much, much higher number. Maybe this is one where you want to jump in live if you have the opportunity to. Sumajiri always starts out strong. So I could see you getting a better number going into round 2. And Mitch is the kind of guy that doesn't go away. So if he comes out with the right game plan and hangs around, he could end up being a problem and pulling off this upset. I like Mitch. I hope he does well. We're rooting for the Spectation Sports guys. So definitely on Mitch's side here. I just don't have a bet on this one. Again, the long shot would be the Mitch Raposo by sub, hoping he finds his way to a finish, and working with Patchy Mix pays off, all that kind of stuff. But at this point, not a whole lot. Next fight up, you have got Cedric Dumas taking on Mikhail Oleksiejczuk. And now we'll go ahead and talk about everyone all in on Dumas, right? Mikhail Oleksiejczuk looks good. 185 is definitely the weight class for him. He was so undersized at 205. He's a soft body. He's not a guy that looks overly impressive at any point in time. He just doesn't have a whole lot of muscle packed on him. He's kind of built for speed, built for war, right? His opponent here, Cedric Dumas, very tall, very lithe, lengthy for the weight class, very tatted up, no problem. He's the hometown guy here for this one, so he probably gets some kind of a pop here. Yeah, so KC saying that's the most ripped I've ever seen him. It might have been just because he's flexing, but he is working out with the Fighting Nerds, so there's a very good possibility that he might be work harder on his strength and conditioning than he has previously. That might be something that he absolutely is working on and working towards, and that wouldn't surprise me because he's finally all in on his MMA career. That's something that I think he finally got serious and decided he had to get with a serious team, and that's where he's with the Fighting Nerds right now. So I'll be very curious to see the evolution of Mikhail Oleksiejczuk this weekend now that he is with that particular team. Cedric Dumas is a plus 185 favorite, minus 225 Mikhail Oleksiejczuk. And, I talked about this on the Monday show, you guys. I am the guy who's been saying, hey, let's just blindly bet Cedric Dumas. I think he's going to make massive improvements over a short period of time. And I think we're going to get good, valuable numbers on him as he climbs the ladder and as he gets better competition that's, appropriate competition, right? The UFC, for whatever reason, seems to like the guy. I'm not sure if he fits a demographic for them or what's going on exactly, but they have really softball match made him here to get started. So they've kind of given him some leeway, some time to develop. I can't do it here, though. Mikhail Oleksiejczuk, when these guys face off, they size up really, really well, okay? The problem is Cedric Dumas usually has a height and reach advantage, and he's very tall, and he's very slim, and he's skinny. When he faced off with Mikhail Oleksiejczuk actually looked thick, and Mikhail Oleksiejczuk doesn't make anybody look thick, mind you. And he's got a huge head. Now, I know some people just naturally are built that way, but like that's an HGH thing, man. Like if you have a head twice the size of your opponent, usually that means you're on some stuff, and you have been for a very, very long time. Cedric Dumas has a tiny little head. Now, the only time he's been knocked out in the UFC was an eye poke TKO, so it really wasn't a true TKO. He does seem to be pretty durable. He's been chin checked a couple times, but he's been chin checked by a really low level of competition. Mikhail Oleksiejczuk is very fast, and at this weight class, he hits very hard. So I am not going with the blind Cedric Dumas bet in this spot. I think if Cedric gets in there and grapples, he still could have a path to victory in this fight. He could grind his way to a decision or potentially find his way to like a rear naked choke or something. Oleksiejczuk has been susceptible on the ground. But again, I'm not stepping in front of the Fighting Nerds. He's been working with guys like Kyle Barallo. So that submission defense has got to be something you got to think is improving. And even though Cedric Dumas is working on his grappling and that is improving, he's also a guy that's working out in like a warehouse. He's not at a super gym. He's not training with high-level black belts and crazy high-level MMA fighters. So I've kind of tempered my expectations on just how quickly I'm expecting Cedric Dumas to rise and how quickly I'm expecting his skill set to improve, because so far I haven't seen exactly what I would like to see from that. So I'm not fully out on Cedric Dumas or anything like that. I don't think this is the spot, and I kind of need to see it before I can, really buy in here in this case. So I hope you guys will forgive me there. I'm trying to adjust and not walk face first into some of these bad spots, because that is something that I've been known to do, is to just blindly bet something that I'm wrong about and then lose piles. So I am not going to do that in this case. But speaking of trajectories, guys, I do want to bring to your attention a new way to play the game. Kalshi is a very, very awesome platform here for sports betting. It's actually a trading sports betting style website. You can do anything from politics to pop culture, crypto, sports betting. Right now, the Masters is going, and as you guys can see from the screen there, you can buy, sell, and trade as like you would in the stock market for sports and really any topic in the world that you would like to. Like they've got a thing down there for AI and stuff on like movies and Rotten Tomatoes. Like there's so much opportunity for you to be able to bet and gamble on these things as though you would be in a stock market. If you guys use promo code DIEHARD when you sign up, after you trade $100, you will receive a $10 bonus from Kalshi. They are trading available in all 50 states at this point, and everything, including the Masters, is up for grabs. So you guys do me a favor, hit the link in the description below. Make sure you check out Kalshi. Remember, when you sign up, when you deposit, use promo code DIEHARD. All right, guys, back to the Undefeated post-weigh-in show. The next fight I want to talk to you about is Darren Elkins, the Damage himself, taking on none other than Juicy J. Julian Rosa. And Andrew Nance, my guy, saying hit the like. That's free, and that's what's up. I appreciate that. Playing for real. What's up? How you doing? How you doing? Derek saying that Oleg's brother's actually better than him and needs to come to the UFC ASAP. I don't know his brother. I'm gonna have to look into that. I didn't actually know that. All right. Oh, Andrew saying PFL at 9 p.m. tonight. And yes, somebody, I apologize. I think Paul asking about PFL predictions. You guys, I have one bet, one play. Let me go ahead and get Juicy J out of the way here for this. I have one play for PFL tonight. We are locked in. We are ready to go. And all you need is one bet on PFL tonight. I'm really going to go for that old smash and grab, right? Like I'm trying to make sure I get in, get out, and go home. And that is just the most consistent #1 bet in MMA for the last 10 years. None other than my Gorilla, Liz Carmouche. We're taking her inside the distance, -135, 2.7 units to win too. And I did go a full 1 unit on the submission. She did an interview leading up to this PFL fight where she's talking about how she wants to try something that she's been working on in practice. You guys, Gorilla is the most physical person in this weight class, right? She just rolls over everybody who's not just championship caliber. And she's incredible with her jiu-jitsu these days. That's something she's been working very, very hard on. And it shows in her last couple of fights. She's able to finish people with chokes and stuff from all over the place. She's hitting arm bars now. And she is wanting to show out in this fight. And when you hear, hey, I've been working on something and I'm going to try it out in this fight, I'm going to get it. Well, her opponent has been submitted by basically everybody at the professional level. So the sub is coming. It's just a matter of what she's trying out. I wouldn't think she's been working on Superman punches and that's what she's trying to figure out. And that's what she's trying to show off in the cage, right? I think it's going to be like a Peruvian necktie or like a twister or a heel hook. Or I think she's going to hit some kind of an exotic submission. So whether or not she gets the sub, I think she eventually can find her way to a finish no matter what she's got planned. But I do think it's the sub. So I'm going to do the inside the distance as the big bet. And then we're going to go ahead and hit the +175 submission because I really think she's going to hit something on this girl. And this girl is very tappable. She's been hit by 3 arm bars already, something like that. So she is not someone who can hang with Liz on the ground. She's not someone who should be in the same cage with Liz. The only way this fight goes the distance is if Liz tries this one thing that never works and just dominates. So she just takes the win and grinds the full 15 minutes because she was never in any type of danger. And I just don't think Liz is going to do that. I think at some point, she'll just bite down on the mouthpiece and throw if she has to. You know what I mean? This is a mismatch. It really is a mismatch. So I'm on Liz inside the distance, and let's get it done. Next fight. Julian Erosa and his opponent here, Darren Elkins. Both guys made 145 pounds. Julian Erosa looked pretty rough. This photo doesn't do it justice. When he was up there and he's moving around, that face is really sucked out. You can see his skull behind the skin very, very lightly there. Yeah, there we go. That's a little bit better. You can see the veininess and stuff like that. He was not having a great time up there, but he moved well enough. He's been doing this a long time. He's a big guy for the weight class. He's getting older, but he still is managing to do it. So I'm not expecting him to be damaged by the weight cut any more than he normally is. He's already a chinny guy. His opponent here, Darren Elkins, decent bit smaller. He's not a guy that ever really looks impressive on the scale. He's got a body that's built for hard work, not a body that is built for show, right? So I love Darren Elkins. He's always been good to me, but we can't really report much based on the scale. When these guys face off, Erosa, as no one is surprised by, has a decent height advantage here in this spot. This is going to be a very interesting fight. I am so tempted to take the plunge on Darren Elkins, you guys. I've been tempted all week to do this thing. The bookies don't know what to expect here. I mean, you've got Julian Erosa as a -300 favorite. I know he's got that wicked guillotine, but you cannot submit Darren Elkins. He's been in so many guillotines. We know he's going to wrestle. We know he's going to leave his neck out there, but he knows how to roll, reverse, get on top, and defend those subs. He just doesn't tap. He refuses to tap, and he doesn't go to sleep either. He just never stops. The guy's got a motor on him that doesn't quit. The only problem for me is he's getting older. So he could absolutely get to the point where Father Time catches up to him, and then it's a problem, right? Now, if this thing stays on the feet, then Julian Erosa is a guy that's got wicked offense. He could knock him out. However, on the flip side of that, Erosa doesn't have great defense, and he also doesn't have great durability. So there's the opportunity for Darren Elkins to get in there and mix it up if this thing does stay standing. I don't think that Julian Erosa has the hips or the takedown defense to really force this thing to be a standing fight for 15 minutes. So maybe he catches him with a flying knee or a big elbow and just ices him early. There is a very real possibility that the damage has taken too much damage, and this could be his last ride, and he's going to go out cold here. So I can see the argument for the KO on Erosa. I can see the argument for the sub on Erosa. But for me, you guys know I'm a dog hunter. I would prefer to roll the dice one last time with my boy, the boy who has never steered me wrong, the guy who I know will go out there and fight for my money. I know he's durable. I know he's tough. I know he's got a good gas tank. I like Darren Elkins. So for me at this number, it's dog or pass. I haven't quite gotten to a bet yet. I talked about this one with Lucrative on my Monday show, and I still just quite haven't pulled the trigger yet. I mean, I'm like, I want to. I really want to. Maybe I will. Let's see. If Liz cashes tickets for me, right, then maybe that's a sign to go ahead and bet Julian Erosa. I know those things are not related at all, but still, I would take it as that kind of a sign. I don't mind the decision prop for Darren Elkins. Or if you want to get crazy, do like the round 3 TKO for Darren Elkins. That's like 35-1, something like that, where if he gets his ground and pound going and both guys are tired and slowed down and one guy's chinny, there's definitely the opportunity. But I think more than likely, if he's going to win this fight, it probably is because Erosa is more than willing to play from his back and look for submissions and then just never catches them. So we go a full 15. That's what I would expect. Next up, we have got Verna. That's Chase Hooper. Chase Hooper taking on Jim Miller. Both men came in at 156 pounds today. Chase is filling out, ladies and gentlemen. Like little boy Chase grew up in front of us. The Hoop himself. Look at the muscles. This man's growing into that body. You love to see it at 155. Jim Miller, on the other hand, is losing his battle with Father Time. He's looking very pale, very gray on the scales. Now, don't get me wrong. No disrespect. The guy's got a decent flex on him still, and he would still absolutely whoop my ass. So I love me some Jim Miller, but someone was arguing with me online about this fight, about how much more skilled Jim Miller is everywhere. And it was one of those things where I just go, yeah, but it matters a whole lot less when your opponent is 15 years younger than you, twice your size, stronger than you, and has better cardio. Like that's the thing I think people fail to grasp sometimes is the physicality difference between people makes a difference. That's why Dricus du Plessis is your champion right now. It's not because he's got the prettiest technique in the weight class. It's because he's a monster. It's because you can't stop him and he hits harder than you do. So every time anybody does anything, he's the one hurting you, not the other way around. So Jim Miller is the more technical fighter here. Jim Miller probably is world class better in jiu-jitsu. Maybe, I'm not sure. That's Chase Hooper's thing too. You might have caught up at this point. But with the striking, Jim is more technical, at least for a round, but he slows down. He's old. The durability is fading. Chase Hooper is massive and he's improving. So those things are what lead us to this number. Chase Hooper is way too big a favorite. He's a 10-1 favorite. Jim Miller could win this fight in round 1, definitely. But the further on this fight gets extended, the more and more and more it is a Chase Hooper fight. Jim Miller is not a guy that goes out there and decisionates people for the most part. He's not a good enough wrestler to take Hooper down and just sit on his chest for 15 minutes. That ain't happening. And if this is a kickboxing fight for 15 minutes, I would expect Hooper to find one of those step-in knees or elbows way before I would expect Jim to just spark this guy who's shown he's got stupid durability already with one big overhand shot or something like that. Now, again, it's possible. I don't want to doubt Jim Miller. I love the guy. But at this stage, that's just how I see this thing playing out, you guys. I think we need to go right back to the well. You know, I lit the world on fire by playing round 2, round 3, TKO for my boy Chase Hooper before everybody knew the name of Chase Hooper. And I think that's what's going to happen here. You know, the bookies are shaded very, very heavily to the sub, like -120 for Hooper by sub. The Hooper sub round 2, round 3 is like 400, 600. Like those numbers are ass. What he does is he gets on top of people and he just starts throwing elbows. And when you get these older fighters, the durability slips. So I think if he out scrambles a guy like Jim and gets on top, he'll just elbow him to hell. Chase Hooper by KO is plus 550. I gave that out on my prop show, which, by the way, if you guys want like a focus on props where I go over just kind of my favorite ones on the board, that's a new show that I'm doing. Clint's Hot Props. Check that out here on the page as well. But more than that, I like these crazy long numbers at the KO2, KO3, because I don't think it's happening early. I think Jim is going to have Hooper minding his P's and Q's and on his toes early in this fight, and then he'll have to figure it out the deeper it goes. So Chase Hooper KO round 2, 16-1, KO3, 22-1. That's more my style. That's more what I'm looking for. I like those numbers, and I think those are the way to go in this fight. We got some more names piling in here. We got almost 300 people live. What's going on, everybody? Appreciate you being here. Cameron in the house, Heather hanging out, Rick the Ruler. We've got Bausam Mur. That's a mouthful. That one's hard to say, but thank you for being here. Average Marvel in the house. Stacks. What's going on, everybody? Harmony. How do you say that? Didder Harmony. And we've got Garrett hanging out as well. What's going on, everybody? Thank you all so much for being here for the Undefeated Post Weigh-In Show. Hit the like button. Get subscribed to this show. The podcast is a good time. Next up, you have got Berna Janjiroba, and she is taking on Yan Xiaonan. What a fight this is. Look at Berna. Look at that cheeky little side eye she's given. Who doesn't love Berna? I love this chick. She looked fantastic on the scales today. You could even see a little bit of abs Oh man, they cut it off in the photo. She's actually like, she's not another physique style fighter. She doesn't look like incredible compared to people, but she looked fantastic. She looked absolutely fantastic. And you can see some abs poking out there under her shirt when she raised that arm up. Yan Jianan, she's a physical specimen. She's a little bit bigger. You can see she had a bit of a tough cut. That face always ends up getting sucked out. You can see those cheekbones popping a little bit, but she looked fine. She always does that. And we've seen her go hard for a full 25 minutes at the championship level before, even after being submitted and knocked out. So there's no questioning the heart, the durability, the cardio of Yan Jianan. I'm riding Team Verna on this one, you guys. I am on Verna. I did go ahead and lock that one in early this week. I know the big cage is definitely something that's built more for Yan Jianan's style. The footwork, stay outside, poke and move. And she's been working at Team Alpha Male. So the wrestling defense, probably something that she's working very hard on. But Verna is female Marab. Verna does not give up on takedowns. Verna is like a dog on a bone. Once she gets in on your legs, she will continue to just wrestle, and keep pushing with everything she's got until she gets you to the mat. And then she's a literal world-class BJJ player once she gets you down to the ground. And I mean, you know, we say world-class a lot when we talk about these fighters, but I mean like next level world-class. There's levels and then there's levels. Like Verna Jandiroba is somebody who's going to tap you out. If she gets on top of you, arm triangle, back control, she can hit whatever she wants. And we've already seen that Yan Jianan can be submitted at this level. I know Weili Zhang is everybody's favorite, but Verna's a better grappler than Weili Zhang is, and she tapped her out in round one. So I could see this be a decision, even if it's like a lose round one, greasy 29-28, where she just refuses to F off and keeps coming forward and gets the grappling going and has to hold on for position's sake, stuff like that. I still think she wins the decision. And then I could also see her whipping out a sub and basically finishing this fight at any point in time over the course of it. So I think the money line is fair. I think the money line is fair. Yeah, Bao, I really would agree that if she wins, it's probably inside the distance, but I'm just saying you can't count out the decision as well, because she could just control. It's a 15-minute fight, you know, so it definitely is possible if Yan Jianan's defense has improved as well. So, you know, we'll go from there. Next fight up, guys, we have got the stick man of the weight class. Sean Woodson at 145 takes on Dan Ige at 146. I'm sorry, they both made 146. I misquoted there. 146 for both guys. Sean Woodson, I don't know how he makes this weight. His ankles are about as wide as my wrists are. Like, I'm all shoulders and chest over here. My wrists are very, very skinny. His ankles are about the same. I can't show you in the photo, obviously. Dan Ige, different story. Tough weight cut for him, even though he's much, much smaller. Look at the muscle on my guy. He is in fantastic shape coming into this fight. Rough cut, but we have seen this man go hard many, many times, and he has the power of the mustache on his side. When they face off, it was comical just how different the size was here. Like, I knew Dan Ige was going to be on the shorter side, and I always know that Sean Woodson is going to be on the taller side, but it was like two weight classes. Like, these guys do not look like they belong in the cage together. This is a straight up freak show fight, you guys. I don't like Sean Woodson. I've made that clear. Now, I have to give credit where it's due. He's done a very good job over his last little run here. He's staying long. He's got decent power because of that size. He's worked on his takedown defense, and I think that's been a real benefit to him, because when he gets wrestled, when he gets taken down, when he gets worn on, that's when the gas tank starts to fail him. That's where the durability and the chin start to fail him, is when he gets tired and he doesn't want to take any shots late in the fight. So with his takedown defense improving, people have had less and less success getting that offense going and wearing him out and tiring him out to where they can actually get those late finishes that I really expected we would see a lot of. But I think there's a power difference here. You know, Dan Ige is a guy that fights tooth and nail with the absolute best of this weight class. I personally do not think that we see this guy challenge for a title. I don't think Sean Woodson's caliber. I don't think he's a challenger. I don't think he's top 5. And like, I'm just stuck on that. So I am going to bet Dan Ige. I already have. I locked it in. I like Dan Ige as a dog this week. I like his power. I think he could win big moments in this fight. And Sean is going to be running for his life when they get in close. Now, Sean could stick and move. Sean by decision is totally on the table, you guys. It's absolutely an option for him if he just kind of flicks his offense out there and keeps that range and that distance and keeps on moving. It wouldn't be a problem for him. But I do think eventually he's going to get tired. I do think eventually he'll slow down. I think Danny Ige will find opportunities to close the distance, and he'll land body shots and maybe even hit takedowns. He also has brought some grapplers into his camp, so maybe he is working on his wrestling here for this one. But I just think this is a levels gap. I think this is the first time, well, not I think, I know this is the first time Sean Woodson has seen anybody anywhere near this level. And anytime that happens, if you're not the guy, you usually lose that step up in competition. So that's what I'm betting on here. I don't think he's going to pass the test that is Dan Ige, because Dan Ige, opposite factor, when he gets that step up, he loses to the elite of the elite. And then when he gets that break in competition, he's whooping ass. He's finishing everybody. So yeah, Bell, I agree with this, is that it's probably Woodson decision or Ige KO. Ige could steal moments. Ige could drop him. Ige could hurt him and get like big minutes that swing around. You could get a 29-28. But yeah, that's just how it is. George Rapo, what's going on, buddy? Appreciate you being here. Everybody go ahead and smash that like. Local man shakes fist. I do apologize. I just locked my bets in. So, Clint Curse is real. That's what's up. So, now that I'm on Danny Gay, I guess you better ship it the other way. Next fight coming up, we have got my guy, the Phoenix himself, Dom Reyes, 206, taking on Nikita Krylov, who made 206 as well. Drastically different body types here. We've always talked about how Dom Reyes has one of the weirdest bodies in the UFC. I mean, he's all torso. This guy's got this skinny little torso and there's not a ton of muscle on it. And then he's all shoulders and arms, and he's got massive shoulders and arms. It's really incredible. And then his opponent, Nikita Krylov, he's built more classically and he is jacked. Like, this guy has so much muscle on him. He's got abs, his veins popping out. Like, it's like a big, bulky power lifter versus the shredded guy on Instagram. Like, that's what these two guys look like when they face off. They size up pretty well, and that's where Dom Reyes is a decent bit thicker than Nikita Krylov, but Krylov is slightly larger, and then he's just more shredded. So it's like, A or B, which one works better for MMA? I don't know. You got me. But I can't wait for this fight. This is my dog of the week. Dom Reyes is a guy who I think belongs at the top echelon of this weight class. I believe he belongs in the deep end. We saw his fight with John Jones, and we saw that he pushed John Jones to the limit. He took him farther than anybody ever has, and I truly feel that he won that fight. And since then, it's been kind of downhill. I understand that. However, he's had massive moments in every single fights, even the ones that he's losing in. Yuri Prochazka told everybody that he woke up in the guillotine choke. Like, he got cracked so hard by Dom Reyes, he was out, and then Dom jumped on a guillotine instead of following up with punches, and Yuri admitted fully that he woke up in that guillotine choke. So Dom had him done. Like, Dom could have had gold wrapped around his waist after that, because he knocked out Yuri Prochazka. He really did. But then Yuri, we know, is a freak, recovered and got back in the fight and hit him with a wild spinning elbow. And the rest is history, right? Dom Reyes has gotten back on track recently, and he's got his confidence back, which I think is a big thing. And the other thing that I talked about on Monday, you guys, is that his defense is improved. He knows he's chinny. He knows he can't take those shots. He knows he's not like a war type of fighter at this point. And you can see the improvements in his defense because of that. And I think that makes the difference. Like, I think he can take a couple punches. It's not like a one punch and you're done type of thing. Ryan Spann hits harder in round one than anybody does. So I'm not knocking him for not being able to take that Ryan Spann punch. And he ran face first into it, by the way. Now, I did track down an interview. This was something I really wanted to hear from Dom Reyes. He talked about how he doesn't have to do this. He's doing this because he loves to do this. He's doing this because he wants to do this. So, like, he could hang it up and walk away, but he's choosing to come back. He also talked about how he's in a more, what am I talking now? Not evolved, mature. He's a more mature fighter at this stage of his career. And he actually is not going life and death in his sparring sessions in the gym and stuff like that. And that's something that I thought was very, very key here, because I think Dom might have ruined his chin in the gym. That's something that you only find out about after a fighter talks about it, right? Because we're not in training camp. We're not behind closed doors. We're not the coaches. You see some of these guys and the fall off is dramatic, and you go, what the hell happened? Well, it's because some of them get in pissing contests and beat the hell out of each other in the gym leading up to a fight, and then they don't have the durability to actually take the punishment in the fight. And Dom said as much without saying as much. You know what I mean? He was in this interview talking about how he doesn't feel like he has to prove anything anymore. He doesn't feel like he has to go in there and spar 1,000% and go in damaged and broken into the fight. And he didn't specifically say, I used to do that, but he said, I don't have to do it anymore. So it kind of alludes to the fact that he did used to do that. So I think we could see an improved durability version of Dom Reyes going into this fight. And Nikita Krylov, while he is tough, while he is durable, he's coming off a shoulder surgery. You never know how people are going to bounce back from that kind of a shoulder injury. I don't know if his takedowns are going to come as easy. I don't know if he'll have as much power. I don't know if he'll be able to hold on as well. Like, there's a lot of questions about his use of his arm and his shoulder after having that kind of a surgery, and he has zero defense. That's the thing. Nikita Krylov doesn't control people. He can wrestle, he can take them down, but he can't keep them down. And then he has zero defense standing. So this is going to come down to a wild haymaker. Like, full admission, you guys, Krylov could crack Dom Reyes with something. Dom Reyes' chin could be gone. He could be irreparably damaged and never be the same guy ever again. Nikita Krylov KO is definitely on the table. But that's it. Like, Nikita Krylov is not going to out-wrestle him for 15 minutes. He's not going to outpoint him for 15 minutes. Dom Reyes is the much better fighter. Dom Reyes is the more technical fighter. Dom Reyes has a better stand-up game than Nikita Krylov has a wrestling game. So he's going to be the better man over the course of this fight. It just comes down to whether or not he's got the defense or the durability to stand this first round, the early blitz from Nikita Krylov. And I think he does. So I took that shot. I took Dom Reyes. He's my dog of the week. We did beat the number. It looks like some money has come in on Dom Reyes. It is swinging back the other direction a little. Oh, never mind. No, it got hit again. He's down to plus 135. I got plus 165 at the beginning of the week on Dom Reyes. So this line is shortening. And I know a lot of people that are on the Krylov side. So that makes me feel good because the line is moving my direction and I got the good number on it. So fingers crossed we can get back on track, and Link smiles down on us and howls from heaven for me, buddy. Let's get this one this week. I did him dirty last week by picking a fighter who had no interest coming in or having a game plan, and I messed up. That's on me. That's on. Let's get it done this week, though. All right, guys, we're getting to the good stuff here for you. The next fight here, Bryce Mitchell taking on Gene Silva, and oh my lord, I mean, I would switch to the tinfoil cap. You guys know that's the whole thing, right? Like when I got stuff to say and when it gets serious, we switch to the tinfoil cap. But this isn't even tinfoil cap. This is just crazy business. This is just wild stuff going on right now. You have got Gene Silva, who comes in with the most wild weigh-in I've ever seen. They immediately put the box of shame up there. He steps up and he is just fire spouting, pointing. He finds Bryce Mitchell out in the crowd, in the line, and he's talking to him nonstop. He gets up there, he's pointing at him, he's shaking his fist at him, he's yapping at him, and it's all in Brazil, right? So like you can't understand a word of it. Well, then he goes hard mode for a second here just to get the photo op for the weigh-in, and then immediately goes back to yapping at Bryce Mitchell, talking about how he's going to knock him out, like threatening him. Like he is so locked in right now on Bryce Mitchell. It's insane. So he missed weight. He leaves, gets the box of shame a second time, comes back talking crazy the entire time. It was fantastic. Now his opponent, yeah, look at that. Look at him. My goodness. His opponent, Bryce Mitchell, exact opposite. I mean, comes in, steps up there, gets the weight called, and usually the chick at the scale is like, hold on, baby, hold on for 10 seconds, and like counts them down so that they can like take a picture of them. I love hearing her voice, actually. She's really, really funny. And it seems like everybody loves her. She's trying to like call him back. She's like, Bryce, like, because he like storms off the stage immediately. Like he wasn't having it. There was zero hesitation. They called his weight. He booked it. Like Bryce is also about as intense and locked in as I've ever seen him. These two want to kill each other. I love this fight. It is so good. So that parlay I mentioned earlier where I'm risking it with Nora Cornell, it does anchor here on Gene Silva. Now, you guys, I talked about this again. I know I keep saying this. I talked about this one on Monday, though. I think that Square is sharp in this spot. Every single sharp person I know, every single person who's got a great gambling record I know, they're all on Bryce Mitchell. They all lapped up that plus 280. They all lapped up that plus 250. Like everybody sees the upside in the grappling and the pace of Bryce Mitchell, and they're all snagging it. Well, now he's down to plus 160. So congratulations. If you beat the line move and you got all that plus money on Bryce Mitchell, you did your job. You're in a wonderful position going into this weekend. However, I don't think it matters. I think this is going to be a value loser, you guys. I really do. I just believe that Gene Silva believes that he's going to knock Bryce Mitchell's head off. We've seen it before. It's already happened. It's not like Bryce Mitchell is the most durable guy we have ever seen. And we've seen that Gene Silva might have some of the biggest power this weight class has ever seen. And on top of that, he's training with the Fighting Nerds. So he's going to have the right game plan. He's going to be in the right camp. He's going to be working his wrestling. Like this is going to be a thing that he is ready and prepared for. And the UFC is putting him in a position, especially after Bryce Mitchell grabbed all the headlines, to make him a hero for knocking out a Nazi. Like that's the idea here, is everyone's tuning in to see whether or not Bryce Mitchell dies on Saturday. That's the whole point of this fight. And they're going to push the hell out of whoever wins this fight. And they want it to be Gene Silva. They want it to be the Fighting Nerds. So it's one of those ones where I am just buying in, guys. I parlayed Gene Silva up. Apparently, I did it too early. I thought that the parlay money was going to drive the line the other direction, but I think this was bait. I think there, now it's time. Now it's time. Look at your boy getting nice, clean cut today. I think this was bait, you guys. I think the bookies knew full damn well that sharps and people who know what they're talking about and people who know MMA were going to come in and they're going to bet Bryce Mitchell, and they're only going to have to deal with the casuals who parlay, and they just got to worry about maybe busting the other leg of those parlays. But Bryce Mitchell's going to be the one that gets it done. I believe that we're going to see Gene Silva get his KO. Minus 105, Gene Silva knockout. Let's go. I mean, if Nora Cornell loses and my parlay is busted because she sucks and somehow manages to lose to Haley Cowan, first off, she'll be dead to me. Second, we'll just load up on Gene Silva by knockout at minus 105 to make up for it, right? That's the plan. That's the game plan right there. Next up, you guys, we're getting to the end here. We got Patricio Pitbull taking on Yair Rodriguez. Pitbull looked fantastic today, you guys. I thought he looked old recently, but he looked great on the scales today. And he made mention that if there's any issues with either of the guys in the main event, he wants to fill in for the title shot. His opponent here, Yair Rodriguez, after causing everybody drama, and apparently it's a poor opinion to think that this guy's an asshole. People seem to love him for some reason. I don't understand. He looks great though. He's in shape. I love watching him fight. He's a good competitor. I have flip-flopped on this one, you guys. I've completely flip-flopped. So Yair Rodriguez, minus 200, plus 160, Patricio Pitbull. When this fight got announced, I fully intended to max bet Patricio Pitbull. I mean, as soon as I saw the names, I just went, oh, that is exactly the kind of person who will wreck Yair Rodriguez. And then I ran the tape. And the tape showed me that in his last couple fights, he looked a little disinterested. In his last couple fights, he took short notice opportunities. He went overseas. He didn't show up in great shape. He's not wrestling. Like, all these things is like, man, he's just not in the form that I expected Pitbull to be in. Looking at him weigh in, he's in serious shape. He is in the best shape of his life. He went on Henry Cejudo's podcast, and one of the things he said on there was that the people that beat Yair Rodriguez do a certain thing to him, and that's exactly the plan, is he's going to go out and do that to him as well. And that's all I needed to hear, you guys, because I know the game plan to beat Yair Rodriguez. Now, I don't have the physical tools to do it, but I've got the game plan to do it, and I can give it to any high-level fighter. Yair Rodriguez is a bully. This guy breaks. He folds. Okay. If you put him on the back foot, he does not like being on the back foot. If you mix in takedowns and you make him grapple, he does not like to grapple. His jiu-jitsu has improved, but his takedown defense just never got there. He's not a guy that can handle you coming forward, putting heat on him, and then also mixing in takedowns and making him go to the ground. Every time anybody does that to him, he gets his ass whooped. You go back to 2017, man, Frankie Edgar bullied this man, TKO'd him in the second round, made him quit. Volkanovski did the same thing to him. It took him until the third round, but it was the same thing. You just keep coming forward, keep pressing, keep battering him, and then mix in those takedowns so he gets tired. And then Brian Ortega made him look silly. Like, Brian Ortega rolled his damn ankle, hurt himself going into that fight, and still managed to pull this off. Not even being a great wrestler, more of a jiu-jitsu guy. He did the same damn thing to him. So at the elite level, Yair Rodriguez breaks if you just come in with the right game plan. And that was my whole thing. Is if Pitbull is not fighting at his best, he's a little older, and if he doesn't come in with the right game plan, I can't trust him. So I picked Yair Rodriguez on Monday because I just didn't like the version of Pitbull that we were getting. Now I see that we've got an intense, in shape, fully trained Pitbull, and then we also have a Pitbull acknowledging the game plan, the exact game plan that is going to work, that he needs to use. And on top of that, it seems like he's hanging out with his coach. What's his name? The coach the Henry Cejudo works with, the guy with the glasses over at Fight Ready. Like, so he's in the right place. He's with the right people. He's got the right game plan. That's all I needed to know. We're going to end up taking a dog shot here on Patricio Pitbull. That's going to be an undefeated post weigh-in show add to the betting card. And I will just be so happy if I get to watch Yair Rodriguez get flattened and quit one more time. I want to see it. Give it to me, baby. From the props, though, I do think that the sub for Pitbull is maybe the way you want to look. It was plus 750 earlier today, so a little bit of money is coming in on it. Plus 700 is what he's got now. He's got a nasty guillotine, so if there's a slip up from Yair Rodriguez and he jumps face first into a gilly or something like that, he could snatch up that neck and end it. And then on top of that, we've seen a lot of these guys actually go to the subs with Yair Rodriguez because, again, like I said, he quits. The guy breaks. He folds. So if he gets beaten up and ends up on his back, I'm not sure Pitbull is going to necessarily knock him out. He might be able to get like an arm triangle or something. If he's going with a grappling heavy type of game plan, he'll be able to look for that sub. So you can catch it offensively and defensively. And I actually think the sub is probably a little bit more live than the KO. I hate to say that because the right hand of Pitbull is something that's absolutely nasty. And we have seen 3 knockout losses for Yair Rodriguez. So inside the distance, more than likely, if he wins it, it's probably a finish of some kind. So the money line is good in my opinion. So just pick your poison as far as KO or sub. I think I would lean towards the sub side just because there is a chance that he gets put on the defense at some point and grabs that neck. The Carrillo shout out. I said that wrong. I'm so sorry. Thank you for the dono. Thank you for the tip. I very much appreciate it. Shout out. Oh, my bad. I'm pronouncing that wrong. Thank you for the correction. Sorry about that. When you say something wrong in your head for like years and years and years, you just never you start saying it out loud wrong and you just never shift off of it. Appreciate you, my friend. Always trying to do what I can to bring you guys the best info I possibly can, and then just have a good time. Make the MMA space a fun one, because there's a lot of a-holes out there, you guys. There's a lot of people that suck out there. People trying to scam you, people trying to lead you the wrong way. I may suck at gambling, but I'm going to do everything I can to help you out along the way. That's what it's about. Die Goat, love it, love it. Some people might read that as a threat, but I love it. All right, guys, let's get this moving. The last thing I want to make sure you guys are aware of is I am running a giveaway contest for UFC 314 using Bet Openly. You guys know Bet Openly has done some sponsor stuff with me for a long time. Link in the description below. Get signed up if you have not. The entry code, it's a free entry. Just use promo code DIEHARD when you follow the link, and you guys can fill in a contest. It's $100 giveaway. $100 up top. All you got to do is sign up, get on Bet Openly. If you're already on Bet Openly, then it's super easy. Click the link and jump in there. Get signed up. If you haven't, picking winners, you got to pick 5. So if there's a tie, you guys will split the pot, but it's literally just a $100 giveaway. No strings attached, no questions asked. Get in there, come play, come gamble, pick some wins, and get signed up for Bet Openly. All right, guys, last couple of fights to talk about. The big one here, Paddy the Baddy, and he takes on Michael freaking Chandler. This was funny. So Paddy looked great on the scales today. He looks pretty dang locked in, pretty good shape, looking good, no problems. A little bit sucked out, but he's a big dude. Michael Chandler, just the most sucked out man who needed water in the history of any sport ever. Like, I don't know how this guy makes weight. The photos that he posts are ridiculous. His veins are so obnoxiously large. Like, I really feel like when he flexes his bicep veins, they pop out harder than Wolverine's did. I swear I could stick my finger into one of those things. They're so freaking massive. It's crazy. Paddy is slightly larger. It's pretty funny when they did the ceremonials. Paddy was like telling him to like take his shoes off and stuff like that, because it looks like they size up pretty well. It looks like Michael Chandler is actually almost the size of Paddy the Baddy, but he's got those like 1-inch heel lift type of shoes. So he's getting up in Paddy's face. He's not that big. He's not that big. I love this fight, you guys. I love this fight so much. I can't wait to see whether or not Paddy is capable of taking that next step. We know that Michael Chandler is going to come in there, bull in a china shop, and try to wreck Paddy early. It's going to come down to whether or not Paddy's got the durability, the cardio, and whether or not he's improved enough to be able to withstand that barn burner heat from a guy like Chandler and then take the fight over. I actually think overs are a possibility here. I think Paddy's going to be full survival mode for the first 2 rounds. And then after Michael Chandler gasses, I actually wouldn't even be surprised if Paddy was able to ride out back control, find his way to, work his way to some survival positions, but then doesn't necessarily have enough offense to be able to get a guy like Chandler out of there. We know Chandler's submission defense is something that he has improved on. We know Chandler had Charles Oliveira on his back in his last fight for a lot of that fight, and they went to a full decision because his sub defense is good enough that he wasn't able to catch him. So where is Paddy going to finish in this spot? Like, I think the sub is definitely live, and especially if he hurts Chandler and rocks him with something, or if Chandler completely gasses out late in this fight from going super hard, then it's something that we could see. But I think that you could get an outside shot at Paddy the Baddy by decision, you guys. That's the super hot take for this one, is that Paddy the Baddy jumps on the back, rides it out, gets the wrestling going, survives bottom position, and gets this thing a full 25 minutes. And we actually get to see Paddy and what he's made of in a championship caliber fight. Paddy the Baddy 10 to, oh, that got hit. You guys, I said that was the look on my prop show at 10-1. That is down to 8-1. The over 2.5, which was plus 110 just this morning, is now minus 110 in some places. So some money is coming in on that over. People are learning, people are believing. And I actually think this could be your butthole pucker of the week type of over spot, where it just is full chaos. Trust that Scouser's chin. Trust that he's going to survive it and get through it, and hold your breath for this thing to go over. And I hope you are right. How about that? saying that Patty is a future champ, calling it now. I have got a 90-1 ticket for Patty to be champion by the end of the year. That's right, the end of 2025. And I hope I get the opportunity to cash that. We'll see how that goes. I like Patty in the spot, you guys. I really do. But I think you can get a better live number on him because Michael Chandler is more than likely going to win round number 1. And there's a very good probability that he can actually work his way into winning round number 2. So there's no point in laying a giant price on Patty if that's the side that you like, because I think he'll actually get a better live number. Now, if you don't have live betting, if you don't have access to it, if you're going to be out with family, something like that over at that point in the night, then go ahead and jump in minus 145. I think it's a fair enough price. He's the younger guy. He's the guy the UFC likes. They're definitely trying to push him here in this spot, and I think he's going to be the one who gets it done. Dejin saying Patty over 5 takedown or 0.5 takedown. So 1 takedown is all you need at plus 100. I don't mind that at all. If you've got a book that will let you look for those takedown props, I think that's probably a pretty good look because, yeah, Patty the Batty will at some point look for a takedown here. Yeah, I like it. Good look. Good look. All right, guys, main event time. Diego Lopez and Alexander Volkanovski, both guys coming in here at championship weight, 145 on the dot. Diego locked in. How do you not love this guy? They did a whole part on like his family, like rooting for him and cheering him on, and they're not going to be able to be there with him. And dude was crying. I was like, who's chopping onions, man? Like I've been on the Diego train since he got to the UFC. So I'm a fan of the guy. Love to see him get his opportunity here. I just feel like it came too much too soon. Tipping my cap a little bit there for you guys. Volkanovski, the man himself, the absolute GOAT of this weight class. I have never seen this man more locked in. He's in incredible shape, best shape of his life. And he's not messing around on the scales. Like he is full on death stare at everybody he's coming across. Like he's sucked out a little bit. Don't get me wrong. He's a little bit of an older dude at a smaller weight class. I get that, but he performs and he's got gas in the tank to go as many rounds as you need him to every single time he gets out there. You guys, I bought low. I bought low on Alexander Volkanovski. I got minus 125. Now I didn't get the premium minus 120, but I told everybody at the start of the week that I was going to look for Volkanovski. And as much as I like Diego Lopez, I think he rose too quickly and he's not going to be quite ready for the challenge that is Volk, a guy who was pound for pound #1 in the world just like a year and a half ago. So this is a massive step up in competition for a guy like Diego Lopez. And I think we're going to see Volk return to that old form now that guys like Ilia Topuria are out of the weight class. Diego Lopez, boxing has improved massively, but he's not a real power puncher. He's taken on some guys that are, a little on the chinny side, guys that are more durable, stretch him out deeper into the fight and then cause him problems. We're in championship territory here. This is a thing where Volkanovski, all he has to do is go full Marab style here. You can lose round 1 and 2 and still win 3, 4, and 5 and manage to go ahead and get your belt back. And I think that's kind of how this fight's going to play out. I think it's going to be hairy early. Volk will get the timing and the range and the distance. He'll mix in those takedowns. He'll attack the legs. And then over the course of this fight, getting stretched out, he will take over. I think it's going to be Volkanovski. I think it's going to be Volkanovski by decision. That's plus 200, which is something we used to get like minus 135 on. So I actually really like the number, and that got crushed too. Plus 165 now. Volkanovski by decision. Damn, all my crazy long shot parlays, the numbers are going to be so much worse now because I always lock those in, first thing in the morning or last thing Friday night, and all these numbers that I was looking at for long shots have all been absolutely nuked. But yeah, man, I got to side with Volkanovski. One last ride with the GOAT, right? And probably not one last ride, because especially if he does end up getting his belt back, it's not going to be the last time I take an opportunity to bet on him. But I do think he goes ahead and gets this one. I love the U-shaped line movement, you guys. That's where, money coming in on Lopez all week. Volk's number is crashing. Everyone's going, what the hell? And he doesn't quite pass to being the dog. He stays a small favorite, and now it's coming back. And now all the sharps and all the betting syndicates and all the money is coming in on Volk, and he's climbing. Like that U-shaped line movement, I think, is very, very telling. When the sports books never give you plus money on a side, and then the favorite stretches out to being the favorite again by fight time. That's the side that I like. I think that's a very telling movement, and the books are letting you know who's supposed to be the favorite in that kind of spot. Now, Volk's got to actually go out there and do the damn thing, but I trust him to. So I bet Volkanovski at minus 125, and that is what I've got for you guys. Thank you all so much for being here. That was the Undefeated Post Weigh-In Show. I hope you guys got the information that you needed. I hope you guys make bets. I hope you guys cash tickets. I want to absolutely smash this card this week. Just recapping right now. Dogger pass on Mitch Raposo, but I missed a good number on that. out. Just passing on my guy Cedric Dumas. That's a live bet thing, but I think Oleksiejczuk is going to get it done. Very tempted to jump in on Darren the Damage Elkins. I will be betting round 2, round 3 TKO props for Chase Hooper. We're on Verna Jandiroba. We're on Dan Ige. We're on Dom Reyes. We're looking for Gene Silva by KO. He's in a parlay, but we'll probably bet the KO too. We are adding Pitbull. That's the big play coming out of the show here today. We are expecting Paddy Pimblett, maybe looking at the overs, and then we're on Alexander Volkanovski. That's what we got going into the weekend, you guys. Like I mentioned, get out there, be good. Bankroll management, always important. Never gamble more than you can afford to lose, and let's have ourselves an awesome weekend of epic fights. Appreciate you guys. Let's roll.